Happy anniversary, baby. I love you more today than I did a year ago.
But we've been married for 6.
A lot has happened in a year.
Like what?
We started a YouTube channel.
We did.
Well, hello. Fancy meeting you here.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to our channel. We are Self-Possessed. I'm Craig.
And I am David.
And we are stoked to be here, back to you again in the month of June. If you haven't heard us say this before, June is our 1 year Booktube Anniversary, which we are so thankful for, that we've been able to continue to do this for a year, that we've built up the community that we have. We're so lucky that all of you have chosen to kind of come along with us, both old and new. And we wanted to thank you, bottom of our very, very deep hearts. Thank you for the amount of love that you've given us this year. And we decided that it would be a year later, a little bit fun to look back at our very first YouTube video that we put out. our channel introduction. So we're gonna watch that and react to it with you here today. So,
okay, before we start, what would you have done differently this first episode?
I mean, it's been a while since I've watched it, so yeah.
Knowing everything you know now, what would you have done differently?
Well, we called it a channel introduction, and I feel like we talk about ourselves quite a bit and like why we like BookTube, but I don't know that it's an actual trailer for what to expect.
I would have made a different hair choice. I think.
Well, you'll if you've been with us, you'll notice that we're either wearing hats in all of our videos, or we're having good hair days. So,
or not.
Yeah. If we're wearing hats, we're probably not having a good hair day.
Or sometimes you think you're feeling it, and then you watch a video back and you're like, I didn't see that. I didn't see what was going on all the way back here.
One of our new friends, Elizabeth at Reading Riley, who we've talked about quite a bit, just hit 4,000 subscribers. So congratulations to you. And I was watching her 4K Q&A video, and she talked a lot about the pressure that comes with like filming yourself on a weekly basis, and then having to sit in front of the computer and edit and look at yourself. I tend to avoid mirrors at all costs if I can. And so to sit in front of my computer and like look at myself has really caused me to scrutinize myself in such a different way than I even did before. And as someone who has intense body dysmorphia already, like it was just this whole year just being forced to like look at every flaw on my face and in my body, and like
there's also a reason why I don't like to edit, because I know that if I do that, we would never get a video out.
Yeah. It's really hard to kind of accept your imperfections and be okay with that, especially in the society that we live in the culture that we both exist in, that is notoriously very difficult to just accept yourself for who you are. I think we're getting better in our older age, but that's one thing that YouTube has that's the only negative that I feel like I've taken away from this, is that I just haven't been able to like fully, get on board with myself yet. But yeah, because when we first started, we talked a lot about like, well, we need to buy makeup, we need to get better lighting, we need to like, do all these things. But I'm like, all those things kind of strip away the authenticity of who we actually are. Yeah. And I don't want to lose any of that stuff. And I feel like at least we've been pretty good about, being ourselves and being true to who we actually are. So, what's the one thing that you think you've taken away after a year of doing this?
I don't think I was expecting the communication with people that were watching it. Sometimes I forget that people are going to watch this when we're filming. Like, I'm having fun doing it, but then I kind of forget. People watching it is just kind of like the added bonus to it, but it's when people kind of comment on our stuff, and they're very, 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 very nice. And I can interact with them. So that's been a great tool, and I wasn't expecting that at the very beginning to kind of do that, because I'm pretty much an introvert by nature. Like, I have to force myself to be social. So I think with that's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
With this.
Well, and we've been avid YouTube watchers, for a long time. We are not avid YouTube commenters. Like, we'll watch videos on our television, but not on our phones usually, or on a computer. And so I'm not at least personally inclined to always go comment. I will watch and I will enjoy and I will like videos, but I very rarely comment. And doing this has really taught me the importance of the YouTube comment and what it does.
Because I would hope other YouTubers want those comments. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them go through it every day and they're like, I can't get back to all these people. But, I think it's a little heart or something every now and then is just letting you know, nice. I see your comment and I hear you.
Well, and one of my favorite YouTubers her name is Better Off Red, and she does like makeup and true crime stuff, and I could watch her videos forever. And she talks a lot about the, good or bad, no matter what the comment is, it's fine. Like, put it out there, because if you're commenting on the video, you're increasing engagement. And that just pops the video higher up into the YouTube algorithm. So that's been the one frustrating thing, I think. Well, the second frustrating thing is I'm very happy with the community that we've built. I'm hoping that we can continue to grow as we, get older. I want to see our numbers grow as well. So if you haven't already, share the video with somebody. Like the video, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, please. Please. And then share the video and comment down below. Like, what did you think of our first video? What do you think of this video? Let us know. We're gonna really like hardcore go in the comments on this video, I think. So like, tell us what you think. We wanna chat with you in the comments. David needed wine to watch this again. So yeah.
Because I will probably watch it one time after Craig is done editing it, and then that's probably it. So
yeah. As a little insight, our typical process is pretty transparent, but like, we finish filming the video, I transfer all the video files and the audio files to my computer. I will spend a day or so editing if I have the time, and then I will quickly show it to David, make sure that everything's okay, get the thumbnail done, upload it, and then it's pretty much out there. Like, that's about the process that we go through. We can turn a video around, like right now, I can turn a video around in a day, but during the school year, that's a little bit harder to turn a video around that quickly. So we're gonna react to our very first BookTube introduction video that we recorded. So we're gonna pop it down in the corner of the screen and we're gonna watch and see how it goes. Should we hit play?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Book club.
I'm wearing the same shirt.
Okay. Yeah. People don't use that word enough, doozy, anymore, right? I can't read. That's a bad thing to admit on a book channel. Who are you? Oh.
Well, our original credits. So this was our original animated credits that I made. Which, if you've watched our current videos, you know that our credits have changed. The pictures are still part of it, but our credits have changed. What did you think about these?
I like them a lot. You carved a very nice face for me, which I like, and I really, I'm very jealous of those eyebrows and that hairline.
Yeah, I look like a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Which I'll take. It's fine.
But you also smile. I never smile, so. But you're a very natural smiler.
Yes. Our music hasn't. Well, I don't know. Our music has changed. I always thought it would be. That it was super important that everything that we did had a shelf in it, because our name was Shelf Possessed.
Do you remember how we came up with that name?
We were looking at. We were trying to figure like bookish puns. Because like my Instagram name is Overly Shelf Aware.
You were, I don't know where you were, this was...
I think I was at school, because I think you were texting me a bunch of names.
Yeah. And it took forever, and then that kind of popped in my head. I was like, oh, and then I immediately searched for it.
Yeah.
I think there's one other person that has it.
But they haven't posted in like 10 years or something like that.
So
we're taking it over.
So I thought that was really fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. We
I miss
are
that couch.
Self-Possessed. Welcome to our channel. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the new universe we are creating here on BookTube. We're excited to join.
Universe?
Well, and I'm David. And we are a married couple living...
So, just a little bit... yeah.
That's our everyday faces.
Yeah. A little bit of behind the scenes for you. The animations of our names, I actually created. So that's actually my handwriting. So whenever you see those like moving animations, those are actually like, that's my attempt at good handwriting. Usually it looks like chicken scratch, but yeah.
And that couch,
I miss it.
We never sat on it.
Yeah, we literally
we never sat on that couch when we got it.
No.
We wanted a couch in the office.
Yeah. When we moved in together, we had a bunch of hand-me-down furniture, and we
that was the first one. That probably the first couch I ever bought.
Yeah. We bought a bunch of furniture together when we got married and when we moved in together. And then when we got all of this, we got rid of that couch. We sold that couch. We sold that couch to buy all of this, actually. So, yeah.
And the shelves.
And the shelves and that map.
That map.
All of that sold like in 2 days. It was crazy.
Yeah.
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 Being in the middle of the country, smack dab in the heartland in a beautiful little town. We are both teachers, we are both theater practitioners, and we are both
obsessed with books.
Obsessed with books. And our library grows every day, and we are in love with BookTube, and we just want to join the community, add our voice to the mix, and just engage and join you and talk about the thing that we love the most, which is books. So this video...
Not me talking the entire time. I was thinking about this when we were looking at doing this. I was like, how do you feel about this? Do you feel like I talk too much?
No, I think we kind of settle in our roles is what we do.
So what are our roles?
You talk a lot and I sit back and I have my judgmental eyes. It's just something that we accept. Right? Do we not accept it? No?
Wow.
No, but there are times like when I talk and I'll talk, but
we'll just serve as a little introduction, a little channel trailer to give you some idea of who we are, what we do, why we're here. But we thought rather than just having us like straight up talk to the camera for 15 minutes, we would play a little game.
I like that Frenchie is poking out.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though someone here is a little bit more competitive than the other, you'll have to figure out who that is. It's this one. So what we've done is we have created 10 questions individually.
How did we create those questions, you remember?
No.
Well, we discussed it, and then David said, why don't we each do 5? We wrote them in private and then put them in. And I think the first time we filmed the video, we ended up picking each other's questions. So we had to
picking our own questions.
Yeah, picking our own questions. So we had to redo it. Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we figured it out eventually. Yeah.
We have not seen each other's questions. We do not know what the other person wrote. We put them in this fancy little jar. We're going to shake them up. And then we are going to answer these questions about ourselves, about our love of books, about each other, and just give you a little brief introduction as to who we are.
Truthfully and honestly.
All right, are you ready?
Ready.
Do you want to go first or me to go first?
No.
Also, our filming setup has obviously changed quite a bit. We had one light, a coffee table, and an old camera. And we've kind of upgraded a lot of our equipment over the year.
We were on the floor.
We were sitting on the floor.
The majority of that summer anyway. Mm-hmm. And I think we had to change because we just, we're getting up there and we couldn't get...
We could not get up.
We couldn't stand up.
There were several, I should find all the video clips of us, because I think we were still recording when we were attempting to stand up and either our feet were asleep. Or our bones were creaking, Yeah. I'm happy I can still fit in that same shirt. I haven't changed too much weight-wise, I guess.
Sure. I like both of those shirts.
I do too, yeah. As we go into this too, I think what we'll probably do is we'll look at each question and look at our answers and see if anything is different or anything has changed as well, and update you that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You go. I have to go. Oh no. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Not me pretending to not want to go first.
Are afoot. All right. see. All right, first question. Here we go. This question says, what is your favorite book genre and why?
What was my answer?
Thrillers. Horror. I wouldn't say horror, I would say thrillers.
I think I probably said thrillers.
You said thrillers.
I think I said thrillers. Did I say thrillers? Comment down below. What was my answer?
And then remember, ... I'm judging you.
That was my question.
Well, I think that's an easy question. My favorite book genre is horror thriller, for sure.
I did say horror.
I could gobble that up like nobody's business.
Okay, why?
I love twists and turns. I love guessing and trying to understand what's going on. I love the idea of trying to figure something out. I also love being scared. So all of those things mixed together make those two genres like my absolute favorite. 100%. All right.
That hasn't changed.
Oh, boy. I hope it's a good one. I mean, you never know what you're going to get with me, so hard to tell.
Okay. Okay, describe the first book that hooked you.
You remember?
Yes. Flowers in the Attic.
Was it? I don't know.
I mean, I feel like this channel is a Flowers in the Attic channel.
I revisited Flowers in the Attic a few months ago. I had some thoughts, and it was going to be a whole vlog, and I was like, I'm not going to even give it that much attention.
Mm-hmm.
So there was something, and it was also during that whole getting gay books out of libraries and schools and stuff, and I was just like, you're going to get those out, but you're going to keep these certain books. Yeah. So I had a lot of problems, so I just kind of stopped that vlog, and I was like, we're not going to give it any more attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we've talked about it a lot, and you've seen it a lot, so yeah.
Okay. I love books so much.
When Dave, and tell me if this is true. Is that you trying to figure out an answer?
No.
Okay.
No, that is my teacher voice.
Yeah.
Because I've learned that if I don't talk very slowly, I'm going to get asked the same question over and over again. So it's really my teacher voice, like, do you understand what I'm saying right now? Okay. So that's my teacher voice. I'm not apologizing for it because it works.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I mean, I wish it worked in high school because they tend to just ask the same question multiple times.
No, because then I'll pause and stop if I don't feel like people are listening to me. And then that's usually when people are like, oh, shit, he's staring at me. And I usually am.
Loved them the majority of my life. The first book that really, really did hook me. It seems like we're going to talk about this quite a lot. So I want to say Flowers in the Attic because I think, well, I mean, I was way too young to be reading that in the first place. And my two twin sisters, who are a little bit older than I am, they were reading it during the time, and I just kind of devoured whatever they were reading. So it was a lot of popular fiction. So it was Flowers in the Attic, V.C. Andrews, Stephen King, Jackie Collins.
For like a 10-year-old, really.
Well, and I really didn't understand what I was reading at the time. I just knew that I could read, and I was reading these big, thick books. But Flowers in the Attic, for me, I think it continues to, astound me every time I kind of go back to read it. And it's like those first 5 books in that specific series I tend to go back to over and over again because it just takes me back.
Shout out to my sisters. They also introduced me to Purple Rain as well.
Who would that author be and why?
If I could jump out of a plane strapped to one author, who would that author be and why? It's such a random, weird question,
That's my question.
Do you remember what I said? I think I remember. Genuinely, we have not watched this since we put it out a year ago.
I'm going to say Riley Sager.
Is that what I said? I feel like I said like David Sedaris or Sarah Val or something.
Maybe,
like
okay,
that.
maybe Sarah Val. Maybe it was Sarah Val, yeah.
Yeah. But also, why would you be strapped to a plane? Why would you be... Why would you be strapped to another person jumping out? Why would you be strapped to an author?
Make it clear that Craig's is the one that's not drinking wine.
Yeah, I'm drinking
Strapped
sparkling
to
water.
a plane. Okay, so I would say Sarah Val. I think that's what you said.
She was also Violet Incredible, so you never know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It's not.
I think it would need to be someone
Great
funny.
question.
Someone that's going to calm me down and entertain me, make me laugh. Probably not scare me, I would imagine. So, not a horror thriller writer.
Okay, so no Stephen King.
No Stephen King. Plus, I don't think he'd be a good strapped-in partner. I'm going to go with Sarah Vowell.
Okay.
See?
I love Sarah Vowell. I love her humor. I love her angelic voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that she would make.
She would
make me
probably
feel good.
talk
She
the
would
whole
laugh.
time too.
I get to hear her voice all
And
the
then you
way
just
down,
forget.
make me calm.
She'd just scream in
Oh
my
my
ear.
god, I love it.
We also go to bed with her voice
every night.
It's
every
true.
night.
And we still
do.
It's either her or David Sedaris because I have all of their audiobooks. So, like...
Okay, I like her a lot. It's not a voice that you want to go to bed to. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you all know what I'm saying. But I love her voice, but it's not something you want to go to sleep to. Because every time I'm like, please, can you just change it to something else, please? Because I can't deal with it anymore.
He's so nice, though. Like, it annoys him, but he will let me continue to do it. So I've slowly started turning the volume down lower and lower so that I get closer and closer to the edge of the bed near the nightstand so I can hear it. And I'm like, maybe I should just sleep with my headphones in, but...
No, it's like she shares a bed with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You and a book are going on a first date. What do you look for? What am I looking for?
What do you look for in a book on a first date? Pants unbuttoned.
I'm going to say interesting characters.
That's what you think you said?
Interesting characters or whatever is going to get me to finish the book. So just something that's going to hit me really, really hard at the beginning and kind of take me on a journey.
Okay.
Whatever's going to get me outside.
I'm looking
myself.
for something that I've never read before. A story that kind of draws me in. An author who kind of paints a world for me that I've never been to. That's kind of like the thing that keeps me interested. Things that maybe I've never read before, environments that I've never read about before.
All right. Next up.
Okay. Do you still feel that way?
All the time.
Yeah.
Anytime I pick up a book. I think it's like if you don't get me in the first maybe 10 pages, I'm just like, I'll force myself to kind of finish it. But, if it doesn't really hook me, there's been a few books this month that I'm like, I don't want to waste any time.
We've talked about our DNF problems in the past, so and none of those have changed. But I think that we have gotten better at if we're not into a book, we just put it down. Whereas before, I think we would have just powered through.
Yeah, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Let's see. Next question. What advice would you give to someone who is in a reading slump? That is, oh my God, that has happened so many times. And
Put the book down. That's what I would say now. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what I said then too.
Yeah, I would say just
move on to something else.
do something.
Yeah. I mean, if you've been here for a while, you know that we've had several reading slumps over the course of the year.
Ooh.
So, and several times where I think it was October was terrible for us.
I think it was August, September, October.
Yeah. Beginning of the year was pretty bad. Trying to recalibrate our reading. So, yeah. I'm sure that's probably what I said. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but...
I have struggled so hard to get out of reading slumps because, I feel like I have them once every 3 or 4 months.
It seems to affect a lot of people.
Yeah.
Actually.
My go-to always in a reading slump is if I'm not liking a book, I have to really rationalize in my brain that it's okay to put it down. I have been conditioned my whole life that you power through, you finish, you get into it, you get done with it. But as I've gotten older, I'm just okay, it's okay to put it down for a little bit. It's okay to set it down. It's okay to pick something that I know I'm going to get invested in because that is how, no matter what it is, no matter how, lowbrow, trashy it is, I pick it up and I know I'm going to get through it and I enjoy it and then I'm sparked again, which I think is probably the best advice, right?
Yeah, I just toss it aside, never go back to it.
Still Will do.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I haven't DNF'd a book in a long time because I still have that like powering through thing where I feel like I have to get through it. But now that I listen to audiobooks while I'm reading, it's much easier for me to just power through things, and I get through books much quicker because of that, which helps tremendously. And so I don't get bored so quickly.
I can't listen to audiobooks so fast because a lot of people, especially on BookTube, listen to their audio so fast.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people. Like, I need to be absorbed in it.
Well,
like I'm a part of it, and then when it goes too fast, I can't do that.
For me, part of it is like I can listen to it fast if I am like physically reading the book as well, because I read very fast anyway, and so it's easy for me to process and keep my focus that way. The other day when I picked up my sister from work, I had an audiobook going in the car, and I think I was listening to it like 2 times speed, which isn't even really that fast. But she sat down and she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just an audiobook." And she's like, "How can you understand any of it?" I'm like, well,
yeah,
2 times speed isn't that fast for me really.
I think I'll go back if I like the book. I'll go back and can listen to the audio. Like that's what I'm doing with Final Girl Support Group.
Oh yeah, but you're just listening to it. You're not listening to it and reading it. Yeah. Okay.
Or I make him read it and then.
Well, that's the thing that I always struggle with is like, I will toss them, but I always want to come back to them to see if it was just my mood at the time, it was just how I felt, and if I feel it again, then I know it's probably not just my mood or my attitude. So that will happen frequently. You will see that frequently. So TBR could be thrown out completely, and we'll pick something else because I'm not feeling it. So yeah, I'm a very mood inspired reader. So yeah,
I will say that is not untrue, but he has done that more than I have done that in this whole year.
With
You'll just throw books out that you've set up that you're going to read.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at being pretty diligent about like finishing most of my TBR.
All right, next up.
What was your wedding like?
What was our wedding? Do you even remember now after all this time? 6 years later?
I do. I liked our wedding.
I loved our wedding.
I thought our wedding was very beautiful. It was very small, very intimate. It was the first time in a long time that I had my whole family in one room.
Well, and it was the first time our families were
together, and a few of our friends, maybe just a few of our friends. But yeah, no, I liked it. I liked the setup, liked all of that. So, yeah.
I just wish we would have danced.
We didn't have time.
We did have time. Someone just doesn't like to dance.
No, we didn't have time. Like we only had like.
We spent all that time making those playlists, and then we listened. Like there was music playing, but like we didn't dance.
But those of you who have gone through a wedding, like there's really no time afterwards because you're talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Afterwards, there's really no time, barely enough time to eat. But
yeah.
So
let's see what you said.
Tell me about it. I wasn't there.
It was very small. It's actually the day before Christmas Eve. We had our family and a few friends there, and it was just a very beautiful, intimate ceremony. And I think what I appreciated the most was that Craig and I took a little bit of time before all of the shenanigans kind of happened, because you kind of tend to lose track of each other throughout the evening or after it's over, because you're kind of talking to relatives, you're saying thank you, you're opening up gifts, and we just kind of wanted to connect before all of that craziness happened beforehand. So I think we kind of snuck off into a restroom and just kind of took a breath before this all happened. But I think that was a very special day, and I like that it's closer to Christmas so that we can actually remember the date.
Yes, there's no forgetting it at that point. That week is insane for us. So.
It's like those 2 weeks are 5 days incredibly before. Insane.
Yeah.
There's your birthday. There's
our anniversary,
Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and there's a lot of birthdays in the family going on around that time too.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, but it's easy
a heavy
to remember.
month. Yeah.
It's easy to remember though.
all of our gift giving, we basically get over. All of his gift giving really is all done in 1 month, whereas I have to spread mine out into March.
Yeah, but I think that was a great thing for us to do, to connect before.
Yeah, I'm glad we did it.
So I don't remember who told me to do that, but somebody said just find each other first, connect, talk, because things are about to get really, really crazy.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't really become about you during that moment. It becomes about everybody else and trying to make everybody else happy and comfortable. So just connect first before. So we did in that small little bathroom.
Well, the funny thing is, before that even happened, we were setting everything up, and my aunt was doing something, and she fell, straight up fell on the floor, and she's a little older, so everyone was super concerned, and I was like, oh God, this is what this day is going to become. And she was fine, luckily, and it was no big deal, but you could just sense that the power struggle between my mother and myself trying to fix everything and make everything the way it was supposed to be, because we were both control freaks, and David didn't give a crap about any of it, so to take us away from that insanity for a second and just recenter was really nice.
And just remember why we're doing it.
Yeah.
I think some people tend to forget it becomes all about the wedding instead of about the two individuals getting married.
Are you crying?
Yeah.
You're crying?
Yeah.
Do you want to get our vows and read them our vows?
No.
Okay.
No, that's for us.
No, 4 days before our wedding, so we have a lot going on that week.
So birthday, anniversary, Christmas Eve.
But I will say, okay, from meeting each other on
January 1st, 2016.
Okay, I'm talking about meeting.
January 18th, 2016.
No.
16th? 14th.
It's January 16th.
I said 16th
Okay. You said 18th.
first, and then I said 16th. We kept going back 2 days.
I know, but it sounded like a question.
January 16th, 2016.
Okay. So dates are very important to me. Not as much for Craig. So we actually started chatting on January 1st. We went on our first date January 16th. Got engaged in May.
May
end
14th.
of May. Oh, May 14th. And then got married December 23rd. So within 11 months meeting and then getting married. So.
And it's gotten better every day.
I married my best friend.
Yeah.
That's why I have this wine.
Eve,
Christmas,
Christmas,
New Year's.
all of it.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
it's all there. Can I remind you of my favorite part? After the ceremony was done, everybody had left. We went to a local restaurant downtown and had Mexican food and margaritas with our best friends. And
That was the other thing too, that people, I mean, I guess people do talk about it, when you get married, especially if you've done the planning and you have to be responsible for, bringing things and tearing things down. The ceremony was beautiful, and the time after with everybody was beautiful and lovely, and I enjoyed all of it, but having to set it up, having to tear it all down, clean the space
Within because we only had it for 2 hours.
it was very fast.
Yeah.
So, but to be able to do all of that, and then we were already living together, so we were sleeping in the same bed every night. We had our established routine.
It was also a Friday.
Yeah, it was a Friday
Before Christmas Eve and Christmas. So so that was all happening. People needed to get home.
His cousin was staying with us, and so that morning we were running around town picking everything up, picking up the food, doing all of this, blah 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 blah. It was crazy. And then we went out with our friends. We got drinks, had some food.
It was so much fun.
It was great. I loved it. And then we just went home, and they all came with us, and we I remember distinctly we were sitting in the living room, and I was like, it's December, let's have a fire. So we put a fire on the fireplace, and the flue didn't work, and so the living room started to get completely smoked out, and I think all our friends were like, I think this is a cue to leave, and then they left us alone, and then we just passed the hell out.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
that's what I remember the most.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot because of those margaritas. But,
It was great. It was a great day.
Yeah, so it was really good.
I can't. Again, there we go.
Fat fingers.
Mitts.
Big mitts. Should have played baseball. What is my least favorite book genre and why? Look at your husband. He's still judging you.
What's my least favorite book genre?
I'm going to say nonfiction or historical fiction.
That's probably true. For some reason, I feel like I might have said romance, but I know that wasn't necessarily true. I don't know.
I can safely tell you what my least favorite book genre is.
Oh, wait. It is historical fiction. I think you're right.
Okay, and that is historical fiction. I love historical nonfiction. I love reading about history. I don't love the fictionalized accounts of that kind of stuff.
That's David's face silently being like, who did I marry?
Because I love it.
I think part of me is like, I would rather know what actually happened as opposed to what somebody thinks happened or what, I don't know.
Still true.
It's my least favorite genre and tends to be one that I find the most boring. So,
what makes our channel special?
What makes our channel special? D?
I think I said because there's 2 points of view. Especially with two people who have very different tastes, but somehow a few of those books kind of meet us in the middle. Yeah, so that's my answer.
As opposed to getting one specific point of view on a book, you're going to be getting two opinions maybe about the same book or the same genre of book. Though we do like a lot of the same books, I'm going to say that's probably about 65% of the time, but the rest of the time is what I'm interested in. The books that we don't necessarily like, or the books that we kind of share with one another that we don't necessarily want to read, or we just want to like push aside and say no thank you. So I think that's what's going to make this channel special, because you're going to be getting two varied opinions.
Yeah.
That's quite a freeze. Do you feel like that's still true?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is there anything else that you would add to that do you think still makes our channel special?
I think it's our relationship. I enjoy watching. I think I enjoy watching you more than I enjoy watching myself. But I think it's also our interaction with each other.
Yeah.
For somehow this dynamic works. I don't know why, but it does.
Well, that's been the other thing about watching the other person while I've been editing. It's like watching my reactions to David. There were times, especially at the beginning, and it probably still happens now. I try to cut it out if I can, but like where David will be talking and I will just like sit there and listen, but then my face goes completely blank.
Because he's bored.
No, I'm not bored. I'm just listening. So like I'm not engaging my face. So I sometimes forget that we are recording a video.
And there are times when I'm watching the video and I see my eyes do
Glaze.
They don't glaze. They either roll
over and over and over again.
Because I haven't gotten Botox yet, so I can't
yet.
I can't, my face doesn't lie sometimes. So if you say something, my face kind of reacts immediately. But I think I've learned over time to just calm it down.
Yes. Yeah.
So
what was I laughing at?
Okay.
I don't remember.
If you could have
question.
a cocktail with one of your favorite authors, who would they be? That's a great question as well.
R.L. Stein, Sarah Vowell, David Sedaris. I feel like that's who I said.
Okay.
Right?
3 authors.
Oh. With 3 of your favorite authors, who would it be? I would have dinner with R.L. Stein.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. David Sedaris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'm going to go backwards and say Sarah Vowell again. I think it would be both funny, challenging, snarky, and potentially I could ask R.L. Stein all the questions I've had since I was a child.
Who do you think would talk the most?
Sarah Vowell, probably. No, wait, I changed my mind. David Sedaris.
Okay. All right. So who would you share a meal with?
Of those 3 or anyone else?
Of those 3.
Probably David Sedaris.
Okay.
I have a lot of questions. Only, I would also say, if it could be David and Amy Sedaris together, that would be great. Because they're both authors, technically. So I would love to have dinner with both of them together. Yeah.
that should tell you a lot about me. Yeah.
Would it same?
I think mine would actually probably be different now, because there are definitely authors who I've read more of throughout the year. Like, I still love them, and they're like on my top tier. But
What
like,
about today?
just to go out to dinner with, I would probably change it. I'd probably go out to dinner with like Riley Sager, Grady Hendrix, Amy Gentry.
No, because that would, she would be with me.
We could go together.
No.
I know who yours would be.
I don't share very easily.
I feel like my author picks have probably changed over the course of the year. I still love them, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is a book that surprised you?
What is a book that surprised you?
This is the only one that I'm stumped on.
Well, let's see what you said.
I think Kristen Hanna was one that I just
What?
for me to crack open one of those books. And then I read The Four Winds recently, and I was completely enamored. With it.
Okay.
It is historical fiction, so he's not going to like it. But
he did tell me as soon as he finished that I needed to read it, and I said, "What is it about?" He's like, "It's historical fiction," and I was like,
In the Dust Bowl.
But I'm telling like that journey
No.
on, and that's what that's the kind of thing that I like. So, so I embraced it, and then I immediately bought 3 more of her books.
That book
as I tend to do when I find an author that
crushed
I am obsessed with.
me
There's
in
a
the
few
best
books
way.
that I'm obsessed with, and I'll just buy everything that they've ever written. So that's it.
The other thing that bothers me about that too, and that's something that I think that's going to be important here specifically, is that it's okay to like what you...
So, like, what you agree that Kristen Hanna book surprised you?
That's
right.
The F out of me. Surprised the F out of me.
So what is the one book that you think this year, over the course of this whole year, what is the one book you think
of
that surprised
2022?
you? Well, of the year that we've been recording.
I always go back to A Certain Hunger because I just that kind of lives very deep inside. But I think all of Amy Gentry's work as well, because I think Chelsea G. Summers and Amy Gentry are 2 of the authors that I connected to the most as a reader and as a writer. But I also think that because I'm not a big romance reader, so when you told me to read The Charm Offensive, I was very hesitant about it. But that was another one that I was very surprised at, and I think talking to Allison about the book kind of even deepened that so much more for me. So because I just wasn't a romance reader, and then I read that and I was like, ooh, thank you Allison for that, because it just opened up a new door for me. So what about for you?
Well, for me, I think the reread of Evelyn Hugo really burrowed its way into my soul again, and I love that book more than I loved it the first time. I think Sweet Bitter, which came from him, really again did the same thing. Charm Offensive did the same thing. The 3 Amy Gentry books that I read did the same thing. A lot of the suggestions that I got from you actually weirdly were some of the ones that stuck with me the most over the last year. So,
and I think that's what's also good is that we kind of know we should know each other by now. But if there's something that we know that the other person is going to connect with, we're like, I'm not BSing you. You need to read this book.
Yeah.
So, because I think there's only a few that you were like.
And it's okay to not like what you don't like. I think that we live in a society and a culture where we're sometimes made to feel bad for the things that we actually like. And especially as I've gotten older, I don't want to feel bad about the things that I like. And
including Sandra Brown and Nora Roberts, which I will.
But you won't include them on your. But you won't have them on your wrap up.
Because it's like McDonald's to me, really.
But isn't you saying that it's like McDonald's to you? Isn't that you judging those books and
kind of, because I think a lot of people kind of judge those books because they're popular fiction books, and I see only a few booktubers kind of talk about them. But I just like this last one, Night Work, which I just finished yesterday. I'm just like, I thought this just took me on a ride.
Well, that's what you want.
So, and that's what I look forward to. But, but I also think I'm like, it's a very popular author, so people are buying these books in bulk all the time. So, and I think they're getting enough attention. So.
Well, this point that I was making in the video, I still very firmly believe, and I think it's really hard, especially on BookTube, like, because opinions are so subjective and everyone is allowed a different opinion of a book or how they felt about a book or how that experience that book gave them. But there are so many people who will come at you really hard if you don't like something that they like. And I think we need to get better as a community at being able to have discussion. And being able to have a differing point of view than someone else. That's one thing that I am really happy that we seem to have cultivated a good group of people here who aren't really like argumentative with us in the comments. They will present their own opinion, and I think that those opinions are perfectly valid, especially when they liked a book and I didn't like a book, or vice versa. I think that has been great. I just want the larger BookTube community in general to get better at that. Like,
because at the end of the day, there's a lot of especially authors kind of rely on these, kind of reviews and stuff. And I think that's one of the reasons why I do like what we do, is because we don't just settle on the stars. There's a little bit more nuance in how we are kind of critiquing these books or reviewing these books. So we go a little bit more in depth with them, because a 3.5 stars, I mean,
what does that tell you?
I don't understand what that means. So that, at least that's something that I like.
I like our system that we've developed, even though lately we've been reading more books, so grading them is going over those grades in depth is a little bit difficult, but I do like that we've been able to crack in a little bit more. Kraken?
Release the Kraken.
He does a really nice job of not making me feel bad about the stuff that I like to read, and I try not to do the same thing for him. And I want this channel to also be a place where we don't feel bad about the things that we like. We celebrate the things that we like. We investigate the things that we don't like, and we understand why, and then we move forward. I don't think that there's anything.
That's the thing I have to tell my kids a lot too.
Yeah, because I think as a viewer, you shouldn't take our reviews as sacred,
right?
Or anybody else, any other YouTube channels, as sacred. You should read it for yourself. If it's something that you enjoy or that you think is going to be great, do it.
Right.
But don't just get these books because we say these are great. Do some research on it, or or visit your library first before you kind of invest in it.
Well, the whole point of recommendations in general is like, this is what I thought. This is how it made me feel. Maybe it will do the same for you. Like, if our reading tastes align, and if the things that you like, I also like, maybe that will make sense. That's why we gravitate towards booktubers who read in a similar vein. There are several people who, even talking to Elizabeth at Reading Riley, books that she loved that I really did not like at all, and like would never pick up. But it doesn't change the fact that I like this person or that I appreciate what they recommend. I'll still,
Yeah, and as a viewer, you want if you see a book that you like, watch a few booktubers that are reviewing it, and go from there. And after about 5, if they're like, this is horrible, maybe that'll give you a little bit of a hint.
Right. But that's the thing that I have to constantly remind my students of always, is that, like, yes, you are allowed to not like things, but you should understand why you don't like things. You should understand why this isn't good for you, or why you don't like this thing. Especially with media and like movies, television, books, music, all that stuff.
Because there's 2 specific books that we just completely did not like last year that we won't name here, but everybody else tended to love them, which is fine. But there's a specific reason why we did not like them.
There is some moments, if you go back and watch those videos, where I'm just like, I don't understand why everybody likes them, because no one's really explaining to me in a good way why they actually like this thing. And I want them to explain that better. And no one has seemed to be able to do that. I will say, as the year has progressed, I found more people who don't like them, which has been not validating, but I feel good that I found other people who are able to like articulate the reason, you know, because they've done the work, they've done the investigation into why, and that is important.
Anything wrong with that at all, by any means?
No.
Yeah, so that's who we are.
That's it.
That's Shelf Possessed. That's David and Craig.
Do you feel like this video did a good job of introducing us to the world?
I think a hint of it.
Yeah. The thing I wish we would have spent some time talking about, like, our favorite books, our favorite authors, and like, you know.
Yeah, I think we did that in another tag.
A
few episodes down the line, but
yeah, I mean, like, for our first video, I feel like it was pretty, you know, it was a good overview of kind of who we were, both personally and in terms of like books. It's also our most viewed video of all of them.
yeah, and then people just
It just took a nosedive.
No, because I think after we recorded this, I'm like, this is gonna be a lot.
It's a lot of work.
Also a lot for him. So,
but the thing is, and I said this before, the editing thing I actually really, really like, because it allows me to kind of zone out a little bit. It does get frustrating when that starts to take a while to do things. Like the video we just released took about 3 hours to export, because I'm still learning, you know, the whole editing thing. Like, it's taking me a while to kind of get through it, but I'm finding out every time that there's new stuff that I can do, which is great. But then I also want to do a bunch of new things, and then it just takes more time. So
yeah, I would revisit this again, or those questions again, maybe in a later video, or do a little bit more nuanced questions.
Updated stuff, yeah. An updated channel trailer, maybe.
Yeah.
And we're so glad that you're here. We're so glad that you're joining us and watching, and we hope that you will engage with us in the comments. We'll be watching those. We hope that you'll like the video. We hope that you'll subscribe and kind of come along on this journey with us.
Whatever happened to that?
We've got
I need to do
TBR
that again.
videos. We've got movie reviews. We've got book reviews.
We don't have movie reviews. We did one movie
we
review.
did one movie review that is probably one of the worst viewed
videos
on
that
the
we've
channel.
done. So yeah, we've never done those again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got wrap-ups. We've got trends that we're going to unpack.
We have mystery books.
We do have mystery books, y'all.
We've also stopped doing that.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, well, that was our surprise TBR.
Okay.
Yeah, mystery books.
That was fun.
Yeah. Comment down below if you want those to come back, because like we haven't done those since December.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, we haven't done those in
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those were fun for people.
Yeah.
To watch.
So let us know below if you want us to go back to doing those again, and we will.
Because those were good surprises.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked doing it.
I did.
To come back for our TBR to kind of see our little mystery surprise that we're going to do. We hope that you'll join us. We hope that you'll join the community. We're excited to see you and talk to you and engage with you. So follow us on Instagram.
You can follow us on Instagram at @shelf_possessed.
Still
We'll
can.
be taking photos of our TBRs, the books we're reading. We'll be DMs are open. Reach out to us, talk to us. You know, we're excited to see you. We're excited to talk to you. So we hope you'll come along for the rest of the journey. I'm Craig,
And I'm David.
and we are Shelf Possessed. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Well.
That's fun. I mean, the thing is, our end has never really changed, I don't think. Like, the other thing is, we don't script anything. Like, we don't script these videos at all. We've never sat. I think the only video that we had, like, somewhat of a script for was the books that made us, where we had questions aligned out, but, like, we don't script any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But our ending has just kind of naturally fell into that rhythm every single time. So, yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
Good.
Good. Question mark. Yeah.
I just have a terrible time watching.
It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch yourselves over and over again.
Yeah, because I go back to that time, and it was just right after, it was just coming down from finishing school and just trying to find my legs again. So yeah, and then it was during a pandemic. So yeah.
Well, I think what we said in that video still rings true. We're super excited that everyone is here. We're glad that you're part of the community, and we're glad that our numbers have grown over the year. We look forward to what year number 2 brings, and the numbers that the numbers of people that kind of continue to join us. We're excited for what that looks like. We've gone through a lot of changes. You can see the changes. Emotionally, like, and our reading tastes have changed even slightly just over the years. So I'm curious what we'll see next. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't shared the video, share it with somebody. If you haven't liked the video, give us a thumbs up. Hit that bell notification if you want to be notified for when we update any new videos. And comment down below. What did you think about our very first video and then our reactions to that video? We're curious. So check us out on Instagram
at @shelf_possessed.
And I am Craig.
And I am French Stewart.
French Stewart? Did you just pull that out of... Where did you get...
I don't know. I have no idea. That was the first thing that came to mind.
French Stewart from Third Rock from the Sun from 1994?
Somebody, I think a relative told me that I look like French Stewart a long time ago.
Someone once told me very early on in one of the comments that I look like Josh Hutcherson from the Hunger Games, which I appreciate, but it's not true, but I appreciate it.
And they're no longer alive.
Josh Hutcherson's no longer alive?
No, the person.
Oh, the commenter?
No, I'm just kidding.
If anyone's pretending to flirt with me, don't, because David will.
I enjoy it. I love it.
He'll cut you. So, it's true. Well, I'm Craig.
And I'm David.
Thank you for coming back, and we will see you in our very next video.